Hi there. Last week I placed my very first YouTube video on this web regarding bad Bank of America's Arrogance. I've decided that I need to do something more than just leave one video. I have to leave some kind of a charge. When you review YouTube, you'll find so many complaints about Bank of America. But Bank of America is not listening. It doesn't need to. In fact, when Ken Lewis and Bank of America ignored Congress's request a few weeks ago for documentation about their questionable takeover of Merrill Lynch, they even ignored Congress. Bank of America is bad for America. They seem to feel they supersede any level of authority, including Congress. They take our TARP money and then refuse to respond to questions from the very same Congress that granted them those funds. I saw the title of Bank of America, Bad for America recently on YouTube, and I cannot think of a better choice of words, and it's true. Last evening on the ABC News, Charlie Gibson showed a special about outrageous fees. He asked for people to email into their website, The World Newser, about your outrageous hidden fees. Hundreds have replied with fees from cell phones to airlines to utilities and more. But by far the most complaints appear to be about banks, and Bank of America was at the forefront. From complaints about bad Bank of America's unfair overdraft policy fees to their fees to customers who pay off their credit card balances each month. Outrageous. I also added my 2 cents on the website about the outrageous fee they want to charge on my IRA. I recently received a letter that my IRA was being transferred from Bank of America's unit to Merrill Lynch. If you are morally opposed to Bank of America's questionable takeover of Merrill Lynch and its payment of huge bonuses, despite the mounting losses, and you do not want your IRA funds to be transferred, bad Bank of America is charging a $75 closure fee. Now, mind you, I do realize that some agencies do charge fees for closing out accounts. But I moved 4 different 401ks this past year without fees. And I would typically not take my money out of bad Bank of America IRA, but I did not want my hard-earned retirement funds going into Merrill Lynch. This is just one more example of how bad Bank of America abuses its customers. Sure, there are those who are quite satisfied and have been treated well by Bank of America, and they'll defend it. I was one of those for over a decade, until 3 weeks ago, when I called to see if they wanted to extend a credit card offer they had provided me a year earlier. In reaction to my phone call, they canceled several of my cards and cut in half the credit limit on my loan card with them. So much for loyalty. When I got a call from Tara at Ken Lewis's office, she was arrogant and indifferent. Despite the fact that I was a timely account, always paying extra on cards and on my mortgage, it didn't make any difference to the bank. All she kept coldly and mechanically repeating was that they have the right to review and cancel credit. Sure they do, but for a good premier account relationships? I have worked over 45 years to build a credit score to be proud of, and in one swoop, bad Bank of America is canceling my cards and lowering credit limits as if to teach me a lesson for questioning them. Again, I remind you, I've never been late and have been treated as a premier account for over a decade. One person cannot do much alone. Hundreds of us can't do much against a powerhouse like Bank of America. But if enough of us unite, continue to flood YouTube and every television news show about the many rip-offs of Bank of America, it is bound to gain the attention of the media. The more stories about how Bank of America is bad for America, the more that people will think twice about leaving their money with bad Bank of America. Call it corny, but I am willing to continue to leave more videos on YouTube about the injustices of Bank of America. What more can they do to me? Bank of America is destroying my credit score without cause, just as I'm entering my retirement years. It doesn't matter how much I may have in retirement funds, or that I've never been late on any card with any bank. They'll do what they want because they can. It's in the contract, as Tara puts it. Goodbye, Bank of America.